How's it going, YouTube Nation? The Homie Game Brewer here with a video that's not in tune with what I usually do on this channel. I make weird cardboard crafts, as you see all around me and in my videos, but this one's more of a PSA on credit card cash advances. I know it's way out of left field for the type of stuff I do. I don't do finance, but I discovered something today that through an employee at a bank who, thank goodness, she was very honest up front with me, and she admitted that this is something that most people are unaware of. And so, especially with this Christmas season now, and people are tight for cash and credit cards are readily available and credit cards push the hell out of doing cash advances, I want to share this information that was given to me and how I even dodged a bullet. There's a lot of loopholes in credit cards, a lot of fine print that many of us either just don't read over because these contracts are long and full of legalese jargon, or you do read it, but you don't realize the bigger picture of what they're stating and what's going to happen. Now, as you know, these companies push, doesn't matter, it's through the banks, private institutions, whatever, these credit cards, they all pretty much push the whole idea that you could do cash advances, that you can use your card to, take out cash and a bank machine when you need it. They all promote the hell out of this. One thing that's already a fact is that for all of them, the interest rate that they charge is higher than your normal credit card interest. So for example, the card that I'm about to bring up, my normal rate is 19%. The cash advance rate is 28%. So this is why companies love this. I don't know why they need to charge so much more for you to use cash versus just using the card for the same purchase. I don't get it. So that's already the start of how much they're going to make off this with this higher rate. And of course, monthly payments, this makes a huge difference. Beyond just doing the higher rate that you're going to be paying per month for the cash advance, there's also many times a fee. So just to take out the money, even before you're getting that higher interest rate, just to take out the money, there's usually a 2 to 5%, or some of them do a flat fee, just to take out the money. So you're going to be paying more in interest, and just to access the cash from your credit card, you got to pay upfront as well, a certain percentage or fee. So they nail you with that as well. And then many credit card companies, what they do is that you'll have pretty much two balances going forward afterwards. So you'll have your regular outstanding balance at the fee that you normally pay, 19, 20%, whatever it is. And then you have your cash advance sum that you owe that's at the higher rate. So let's just say, for my example, 28%. Now, I believe in the US, I'm not sure if it's the same in Canada, the minimum payment has to go towards the larger balance owing, or the larger interest owing. So if, let's just say, your minimum payment is $300, that $300 is mostly going to go towards the larger interest payments, especially if you have a cash advance. But after that minimum, it's completely up to the bank. And what many of them do is that they'll put that money towards the smaller interest payment. It depends on the bank, depends on the institution. But you get an idea why they love these cash advances. It's just way more money for them to make. But in regards to my situation and my financial institution, and I didn't get caught in this trap, thank goodness, because again, great employee at the bank when I called. What happened was, because of my business, I had to make a payment to my supplier for cardboard. In my rush, my bank card from my checking account, which is one of those Visa debit cards. It's a debit card, but also a Visa credit card. A lot of us have these things. It's a Visa debit card, and my actual Visa card through that same bank look almost exactly the same. There's small differences between the two, but they pretty much look the same. Now, this is completely my fault, and I'm blaming the bank for this. I was in a rush. I grabbed the wrong card, read off the number to them, and they processed it. Because it's a Visa debit card, the transaction gets charged like a credit card. So I had a bill that was coming through Hydro, so I always check my account, and when I checked my account the next day, I realized the mistake I made, completely on me. So I thought, okay, this was supposed to come out of the credit card. It went through my checking account and said, I'm just going to transfer the funds. I saw I couldn't do that online. So I called the main hub for the bank at the back of the card and explained the situation, and told the individual that I want the balance from my credit card to cover this because I need that money in my checking account for my day-to-day bills. And she flat out told me, I can do this for you, but I highly suggest you don't. And I'll tell you why. With my credit card, not only is, of course, the higher interest rate, the 28% versus the 19%, and it doesn't act as a transfer. Even if it's within the same bank, it's still considered a cash advance. But instead of just the amount that I take out, which would have been $300 having the 28%, and then the rest of my balance being the 19%, the outstanding balance now becomes 28% as well. So any money that is on the card now gets bumped up to the higher interest rate related to the cash advance. I actually had to get her to repeat this like 3 times. I was peppering her with questions, and she was patient. She was great. I was blown away by this because I do have an outstanding balance. I'm way below my limit, the maximum on my card, but I have like $600 outstanding on there, and I wanted that extra $300 to put towards my checking account so I could cover the mistake I made. But according to what she told me, and repeated it 3 times, once I do that, that outstanding balance of $600 now gets bumped up to 28%. And this is completely legal. There's nothing illegal about it. It's actually in the fine print of the contract that I signed years ago. I don't remember if I read the whole thing or if I didn't read it, or I did read it and I just went over the top of my head. But I'm so glad she was honest about this, and she admitted that a lot of people are completely unaware of this, and they get caught off guard when they realize their credit card bills are just going through the roof. Because every credit card is different, but you have to double check this stuff. I could even understand a service charge of going to a bank machine. Completely get that. But that you're going to charge so much more interest, pretty much a third more interest for me just to get cash, no matter what the denomination. But then to find out that that outstanding balance that I have the already high 19% interest rate on for a credit card, which is quite standard, now that gets bumped up as well to the higher interest rate, I end up screwing myself. So I'm just saying this for all of you out there. I know we're in tough times. I know a lot of people are just leveraged on those credit cards, but be very careful with those credit cards because, you might not have known this. Double check. Like I said, not all credit cards do this. Some let you keep the 2 separate balances. So you're not getting dinged on your outstanding balance just because you did a cash advance. But in regards to the card I have, they're amalgamated into the same, and I would have been bumped up to 28% for pretty much everything that's on my card. So not because they're not convenient, not because they're not good to have and use, but because of the ways that these companies really gouge you and make money on these things that you would not suspect that they would gouge you on. So I just want to share that story with you guys, and please leave comments. Let me know if there's some financial people out there who work for these cards or these companies. If there's something that you think I said that's incorrect, or that you agree with me and that people need to be cautious, please put it in the comments below. So I just want to put it out there. So all the best to you guys. And I know it's tough out there with the COVID and all this nonsense, but hopefully that you don't get screwed over by your bank and credit card and end up having to pay even more money in this time when we need every penny that we can get. Take care, guys. All the best.